Hey guys, and welcome back to AMC. I'm Hallie, your hostess. I don't know why I just did that. Anyways, I hope you guys had a lovely holiday and Happy New Year. I can't believe it's 2019. That's crazy. My back tumor surgery, the removal was super successful. They were able to remove the entire tumor, so that's exciting. And now just gotta work on my cluster of tumors in my shoulder and in my knee. One tumor at a time. So today I want to talk about cannabis. I want to help end the stigma that cannabis is a bad drug, because it's not. It's a very viable plant and useful plant that can be used as medication that millions of people use, including myself. You can also use it for a variety of different ways with hemp, but I'll get into that. So why don't we just jump right on in there? So hemp and marijuana are both cannabis, but they are genetically distinct and very different in the essence of THC. Marijuana produces THC and hemp does not. But they both produce CBD, or cannabinol. Cannabinol. I can never pronounce it right. It's always a tongue twister for me. So CBD is just easier to pronounce. They both produce that, and it is a great compound. It doesn't get you high like THC does. THC, when you consume it, it can cause that high feeling that some people don't like. But I'm going to get more into that here in a little bit. CBD has a variety of uses. It can help with anxiety, depression, inflammation. It's a wonderful compound, and I use it every day, all day. I love it because it helped my anxiety. I used to have huge anxiety attacks and panic attacks. So it's helped me keep those kind of at bay, but also my meditation and hypnosis have helped me with my anxiety and panic attacks. It's kind of like a regimen. You know, it's not one thing cures it all. You kind of need a whole arsenal to battle all these lovely things that life throws at you. Hemp can also be used for building. You can use it to make homes. You can use it for any type of fiber work and clothing. There's also lotions. You can also have hemp milk, which I have substituted regular milk out with for hemp milk. So now in my smoothies and cereal or anything that requires milk, I use hemp milk. It has great omega fatty acids in it and all different types of nutrition. It has all types of different nutrition. It's just a very nutritious drink. And it's great to add in anyone's diet. So I highly recommend it. There's a brand called Pacific, and they have great practices. They're sustainable and organic, and they have a great flavor. They also make different types of almond milk and rice milk and all that jazz, but I really enjoy their hemp milk. Hemp is a crazy industry right now. We got a lot of bills trying to be passed through to make it legal so you can farm it, which is, I'm super hopeful for that, because that's just going to open up the gates to hopefully show people that cannabis isn't as evil and bad as it's been made out to be. But hemp is really a fun, interesting plant. It's very sturdy. It's very resistant to pests and mold and stuff like that. You're looking more into it. I enjoy it. I'm really excited about it. We use hemp shredding for our chicken bedding. That rhymes. But it helps with the smell, because mold and mildew can't grow in it, and so it really keeps the stinkiness out and helps, keep it really nice and warm for our chickens. And so we don't have to change it out as much as you would, say, like hay or wood clippings. So I'm really pumped that we found some hemp that we can put for our chicken bedding. And anyways, if the chickens eat it, because we have a weird chicken that likes to eat random stuff, and if she eats it, it's not going to be harmful to her. So that's a little bit about hemp. I'm going to put up a timeline on this video to show you how long we've actually had hemp in our history and kind of what happened. So going on to marijuana. Marijuana is, and CBD in some states, is a Scheduled 1 drug, which is up there with heroin and those lovely narcotics, which is crazy. The government stating that cannabis has no medical benefits, and it does. There's a lot of research coming out now stating and showing this. Unfortunately, it's not from the US really. It has to come from all over the world because we're kind of ass backwards with our laws on researching cannabis. So, there's that. But for marijuana, the THC compound that people like that causes you to get high, a lot of people don't like that. And it's understandable. I get it. It took me a little bit to get used to it when I first had to start taking it for my pain. Um, it's different type of medication, and I think it's scary because you've been taught at such a young age that marijuana is bad, it's evil, it's not good for you, it's a bad drug, blah blah blah, the whole reefer madness propaganda. And so finally deciding to take it for myself as a patient was kind of a breaking point of the health system in general. I'm tired of having pills shoved down my throat that cause a lot of issues and other problems that then I have to take another pill for. With cannabis, I don't have to do that. It doesn't cause me to get sick. It doesn't cause me to vomit profusely for 24 hours. It doesn't cause me to it's just crazy, the medications I've been on. Like Lyrica, I was put on Lyrica for a while, and I was told to, give it time, give it 2 weeks. It's one of those medicines that takes time for it to kick in. Well, it didn't take long for the negative side effects to kick in. Made me super crazy. I became irrational emotionally. My husband left a cup over at our neighbor's house, and I freaked out. I freaked out on him for leaving a cup over at the neighbor's house. I'm having this mental breakdown over a cup, and I kind of come to through this weirdness, and I realize that this isn't who I am. I never usually freak out over something so simple. And so I decided to stop Lyrica because it was making me crazy. And it wasn't even helping my pain. So it was worthless and stupid to take such a pill like that. So I'm so grateful that I found cannabis and marijuana in general just to really help me. A lot of people can just use CBD to help with their pain, but I need a 50-50 of CBD and THC in my medicine. I take a lot of capsules. You can take it in edible form of candies, cookies. You can also take drops, which I've talked about before. I also vape. I try to stay away from smoking as much because I have asthma. But if I didn't have asthma, vaping is the cheaper way to go because the other ways are really expensive. Like the drops that I get, they're $50, $55, I think. It's around there. With my discount, I get, it just takes the taxes off, which is my medical card, which stinks, but it's better than nothing. I'm hoping that insurance will get their heads out of their butts and start covering cannabis for patients, because having to force people to just use pills is not okay. Nobody's pain is the same. Everybody feels and deals with pain differently. And so to just assume just to give them a pill is just the miracle cure all is not okay. It's causing a lot of issues, and it's not fair. I know that's such a childish thing to say, that it's not fair, but it's really not. I want cannabis because my life is better. I can get up out of bed, I can function, I can somewhat talk. But I'm not a zombie on cannabis, on marijuana. I on pills I was. Yes, they are helpful after surgery. I do believe that, but it's not a permanent solution. So I'm hopeful that we can change these backward laws and do right by our patients that are in pain. All right, I got some more notes here for you guys because my brain isn't what it used to be. So I wrote some notes down for us because I want to give you guys as much information as possible. So the human body has the endocannabinoid system, or the ECS. We have it throughout our whole entire system. What this system does, it produces endocannabinoids, which I'm going to quote here, are molecules created by cells to regulate biological functions in the body and the brain. So to sum it up, basically helps us keep homeostasis. So the cool thing about the ECS is that when you take any kind of cannabis product, those cannabinoids connect to our endocannabinoid system. And it's really helpful. Oh, that's right. I wanted to tell you guys about what kind of brought CBD into the spotlight was this little girl called Charlotte. And I first heard about her from the documentary Weeds by Sanjay Gupta. It's a great documentary. If you have not seen it, I highly recommend it. I'll stick it in the comment section so you guys can remember what it's called and who is it by. But that documentary really spurred the way for CBD to be in the spotlight, I think. This young girl named Charlotte, from a monthly seizure count of 1,200 to about a 3 after she started taking just CBD. Her parents had just put her on a bunch of different types of medications that weren't working, so they finally found CBD and said, let's try it. We got nothing to lose, and it saved her life. It is incredible what this plant can do. They're finding that it can help with epilepsy and seizure disorders, pain and inflammation, PTSD, Crohn's disease, multiple sclerosis, and so much more. I'm really excited for the research that is coming out about cannabis in general, not just CBD and THC, but all the other cannabinoids that they're finding in this miraculous plant. It's just crazy. It's exciting. So that's about CBD. THC is the kind of the same thing. It in the essence that it helps with anxiety, inflammation, and pain. It also really helps with appetite for people who are, just went through chemotherapy and cancer, or if they're like me that have a ton of pain and it's hard to eat. It helps spur that appetite to want you to eat more. It's a really exciting plant, and I am a huge advocate for it. I know I'm not a scientist and a politician or anybody famous, but this plant is saving lives. It saved my life. I hope that the information I share today has shed some light for you that marijuana is not a bad plant. I'm going to read some quotes by researchers and doctors for y'all. So, okay. Professor Roger Pertwee, an English pharmacologist renowned for his research on cannabinoids, said this about the aspect of CBD biology. Its apparent ability to enhance the activation of serotonin in the 1A receptors supports the possibility that it could be used to ameliorate disorders that include opioid dependence, neuropathic pain, depression and anxiety disorders, nausea and vomiting from, chemotherapy and all that jazz. I added that jazz in. And negative symptoms of schizophrenia. One big unanswered question is that the human clinical relevance and importance of each of these potential therapeutic uses of CBD, identified solely by examining data from non-human preclinical research, actually is. Okay, end quote. So, CBD is being studied for a lot of different things out there, and it's exciting to see what's coming out. So the father of THC, his name is Raphael Mechoulam. He is a professor at, what's the university? It's Hebrew University of Jerusalem in Israel. And his major scientific interest is in the chemistry and pharmacology of cannabinoids. He discovered THC. He and his research, they have found all different variety of cannabinoids, and they're still discovering more. It's incredible. It's insane. I'm excited for the discoveries that we're having to find from other countries, because our laws state that you could only research marijuana for the negative side effects. You couldn't research it for the benefits. But now there's like this weird law that if you provide your own money backing for the research, you can research marijuana. But that's so expensive, so a lot of scientists can't afford that. So we're having to outsource our research, and that's okay, but hopefully we can change the laws and get that fixed so we can get our own research going and studies. I believe that is it. If you have any questions or you want to know more, please contact me. I love talking about it. It's an exciting plant. It's saved my life. It's helped my pain drastically and helps me eat more and gets me vital nutrition with the hemp milk. So I'm a huge advocate for cannabis in general, not just marijuana, but cannabis. It's a romance that I've developed that I never thought I would for a plant. But it's, like I said, it's changed my life drastically, and why wouldn't I want to advocate for this and help other people out there fighting their own pain, that this could help them. So, anyways, help spread the word that cannabis isn't bad. Let's end the stigma. # end the stigma. Because it's not necessary. The reefer madness, I will say, succeeded in the aspect of making people really afraid of cannabis. And that sucks because it's not necessary. You cannot overdose on THC. You cannot overdose on cannabis. And I think that's a huge selling point, if you don't ask me. Because you can certainly overdose on a lot of other medications that doctors are giving you. Just a thinking point. Alright guys, thanks for listening to me ramble about cannabis today. And thank you for your patience with my verbal dyslexia, if you want to call it that. I don't even know. But I appreciate it. I'm learning to accept my brain for what it is. It's frustrating. It's not what it used to be, but that's okay. So I'm coming to the point of accepting that. So thank you all for accepting me for me. Happy New Year, guys! And next time, I hope to have a video up with a fellow patient who uses cannabis to help with his MS. All right, guys, tune in next time.